Good evening. This is Tuesday, January the 8th, and we are so glad to have you all here. This is a Happy New Year, our first meeting of the 2019 new year. We have a new member to our Rotary E-Club of District 7710, Matt Babaian, and we are excited to have him on board. We are going to start off with Eve Marion sharing with us about how she met Matt, and then we'll proceed on with Matt's presentation. He will introduce himself, and then he'll proceed to share with us some exciting things that are being done in Rotary with curling. Eve?
Thanks, Rhonda. Well, hi, everyone. I actually struggled a bit to remember where I actually met Matt because I feel like we've been crossing paths for quite a while. And then I remember that I think I actually met you, Matt, at the Ice Cream Social, one of our club's very first events several years ago, our annual, I think it was our first birthday. So it was a great connection to make. Matt is the past president of the RTP Rotary Club, where I believe he served more than one term as president. This sounds like a fun fact question. He's an avid Rotarian. And like I said, I feel like he's been at almost every Rotary event I've attended in the past few years. We were even partners in crime in the Shiki Sushi fundraiser, where Matt made the connection with Shiki Sushi, and we kind of worked together to make that event a huge success for both of our clubs. And I'm really excited that Matt's about to become our club's newest member. So thank you, Matt, for being here this evening and for speaking with us. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about curling and Rotary and inducting you as a new member.
Awesome. Thank you, Eve and Rhonda. So yes, I have been I'll just start my presentation. I mean, some of this is fairly, everyone here I think is Rotarian. But I did pull a few slides that I wanted to go through. So Rotarians join leaders from all continents, cultures, and occupations to exchange ideas and to take action for communities around the world. Most everyone knows Paul Harris was our founder. The first meeting was back in 1905. We were the first service club in the world. So the number of members and the number of clubs, we are at 33,000 Rotary clubs around the world in over 200 countries. And we currently have in and around 1.2 million Rotarians from business professionals, leaders, and so on. So Rotary, as everyone knows, it starts as the club level. We support our district, which is District 7710. We are also in zone number, I believe it's 33. Are my slides painting slowly, or is everything going fine?
Good.
Okay, excellent. So I pulled this picture from our zone. So we are zone 7710 right here in the center. We have, I think I counted 46 clubs in our area in the box to the right. We are right here, the E-Club. But each of the Rotary clubs service their small town or city, whereas the E-Club is servicing the entire district of 7710. So basically, it's kind of top down. Members belong to clubs, club belongs to districts, district belongs to zones, and then Rotary International. So one thing, it seemed like we do somewhat of a Rotary minute with the E-Club. This is something that the RTP Club tried. We did it on occasion, trying to give different members a chance to talk about themselves or whatnot, and that's somewhat what I'm doing here. So some background on myself. I was born and raised in Clark, New Jersey. I went to Catholic school, kindergarten through 8th grade. I took my first computer science class in 1992. when I was a freshman in high school. And I did finish my career in AP Computer Science. I went to James Madison University and got a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I am a member of the Theta Chi fraternity, which is interesting that their motto, or our motto, is extending a helping hand to all who seek it. Very Rotary-esque. And then I was hired right out of college. I graduated in 2000 and was hired here in IBM. I did not know a soul here in the Triangle area, but still moved here. My then girlfriend, which is now my wife, she was 2 years younger than myself, so we did the long distance relationship for 2 years. And then I did get married November 30th of 2002. We did just celebrate our sweet 16 wedding anniversary. So within IBM, I did switch groups. I switched to become a performance engineer, a QA test person. And then I did go back to school to get my MBA at Keenan Flagler University. I got my executive MBA. At around the same time, I had my first child, Stella, who was born December 2010. And then I became a manager in our Lotus Live cloud organization. So at that time, I didn't know if I was lack of sleep because I got my first management job, or because I had my first daughter and I was a father for the first time. So in 2012, I joined the Durham Sunrise Club, which we mentioned earlier, doing the meal packing. I joined on 8/8/2012. This club is a very small club. They are in and around 10 members, I believe. Before joining the Durham Sunrise Club, I did research and I did go to about 8 different clubs to try to find what I thought was the right fit. That could be a story for another day. But this was the picture down in the bottom. This was the first event that I actually service event that I went to as a Rotarian. We did a fill the bus. We had a bus that was parked outside of a Chick-fil-A, right near the Target in South Durham by the South Point Mall, giving away free Chick-fil-A sandwiches if people donated money to the Fill That Bus cause. Then in November of 2013, we had our second child named Cora. She was a super preemie. She was born at 25 weeks and spent 121 days in the Duke NICU. So around this time, I did a lot less of being a Rotarian and more family stuff. And then the picture on the right-hand side is us at the March of Dimes. So with Cora being in the hospital so long, we wanted to give back to the March of Dimes because basically all their research kind of helped let Cora be alive and make it through the times in the NICU. So around that time, yes, less of being a Rotarian. And with 2 young kids in the house, my wife decided that I should not be going to a Rotary meeting every week at 7 a.m. and I would have to help the kids more. So I switched around 2015 to become a member of the Research Triangle Park Rotary Club. RTP Club meets Mondays at noon at the Frontier. So after about 6 months being on the RTP Rotary Club, I was asked to be the community service chair. So I wanted to go through a few projects with the group here. And so my year as the community service chair was my best year as a Rotarian. I was charged by Andrew Kerr, if those of you who know who Andrew Kerr is, basically to plan one community service event every month. And I will just go through each of those. They were supposed to be in order, but I don't think they ended up being that way. So I alluded to the Fill That Bus. I think the E-Club does play a role in the Fill That Bus. Fill That Bus program. So basically, we collect school supplies for the teachers in the public schools, and the teachers are able to use what they call monopoly money, so to speak, to buy different things that they need for their classrooms. And this is the bus that we had outside of the Frontier. Another one that we had was a 9/11 day of service. This is put on by Activate Good. And this was at I guess it's the Red Hat Amphitheater out in downtown Raleigh. They had a number of different events that they had. Basically, we were just participating in those events. We did actually sponsor the event as well. I think we paid $250 or something like that. We did a children's secret garden. This was in Chapel Hill, at the Ronald McDonald House in Chapel Hill, a playground that we built for the kids that stay at the Ronald McDonald House. It was more, they called it the secret garden because there were spots where the kids could go if they were shy, to kind of, I guess, hide to some degree. So, I believe the E-Club does this one as well. So for the Bull City Race Fest, if you volunteer to hand out water, they give, I forget, $10, $15, $20 to in the club's name to a charity of your choice, which was polio at the time. Around in November, we did a grassroots effort to do a Veterans Day blood drive. This one was held during the week. The thought being we wanted to give parents a chance to donate blood. So we set up a kid zone with Legos and trains, and basically offered free babysitter service for moms and dads to be able to donate blood. My favorite one of all was this one, Recycled Toy Project, or RTP for short. Basically taking gently used toys from families and regifting them to other families in need for the Christmas time or the holiday period. MLK Day of Service, I think we've spoke about this one as well. This one is one where 200 Rotary clubs help put together the meal packing event, and those meals get distributed locally within the community. This one was put on by, I think, the United Way. Battle of the Blues, we did a 5K. This was to help the Duke Hospital that Cora was in, along with UNC. We did make some friends that had children in the NICU at UNC as well. So trying to fundraise for both organizations in a fun way, in and around the time that they would have the football game. We did a Book Harvest book drive in April. There's one going on now around for MLK Day, but we wanted to do something something outside of that. So we actually got a lot of books, 2,333 books, which turned out to be a really positive experience. We did a Stop Hunger Now event, similar meal packing event, but with this one, it was more of an international project because the meals did not go locally to the community, but went to countries outside of the U.S. I forget where the meals that we packed actually went. I want to say Haiti, but I have a vague recollection of that. And then Race for the Cure. So the Race for the Cure used to be in Meredith College in Raleigh, and they moved in 2016 to have the race at the Frontier in RTP. So we basically handed out water at the start-finish line and played a role as they moved to the RTP, to the Frontier. So this is a basic recap. Eve mentioned I was the president of the RTP Club. So I actually started in October. So we actually had a president that was supposed to take over for the full year starting July. And in August, he said that he wasn't able to continue on as president. So I raised my hand and said that I would do it. And I did it from October through June. And then the incoming president needed assistance as well. So I took on a co-president's role, which I probably would not recommend as an option. But it worked out fine for us. Basically, I was co-president from July to December of 2017. So one thing I wanted to mention, and I don't know, Rhonda or Eve, does the E-Club have banners or flags? For the E-Club? Can anyone still hear me?
I can hear you. Rhonda? I was just going to say, we actually don't physically have our own banners, but we have received several banners. We've never really thought about, or at least I didn't actually ordering banners for ourselves, but I think it's actually probably a good idea.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it during our club assembly. I was double muted there. So yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that during our club assembly.
Okay, so I'll just give a brief overview. So one of the beauties of Rotary is, so there's 33,000 clubs around the world. So you can go to a club anywhere and feel welcomed. So I've done this 3 times. I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I went to one of the clubs there. I also go down for spring training baseball down in Florida. So I've been to a couple clubs while I was there doing a flag presentation. And then this one is this past December. So I was born and raised in Clark, New Jersey, and Cranford, New Jersey is the town right next door. So I went to their breakfast club, and here's a picture of me with the Cranford president, where basically I give him the RTP. So this was one of the last things that I did as RTP Rotarian, but basically hand a flag from RTP to them, and they hand a flag from the Cranford Rotary Club to me. So I still have that in my possession. So yeah.
Yeah, so MG was able, during our RI convention in Toronto, MG introduced us to a club in India that actually gave us a flag. And they, as you say, it's meant to exchange, but we didn't have any. So we'll talk about that during our club assembly. But we received flags actually from India and Nigeria, I believe was another one we received.
So I named this presentation Tuesdays with Rotary. So we meet on Tuesdays. I was trying to market this as best as I could to try to get more people to attend. But so one of my New Year's intentions is to read more, and I would highly recommend the book Tuesdays with Maury. Here's one of the quotes that kind of resonated with myself and with Rotary in general. So many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep even when they're busy doing things they think are important. This is because they're chasing the wrong things. The way we get to the meaning in your life is to devote yourself to loving others, devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. So that quote kind of felt like a Rotary type quote. So yeah, that is the Rotary 101. I will switch to curling now. So with Rotary, there are several fellowships, as they're called, different groups. Anyone can join a fellowship. It's different passions that you have, whether it's cooking or wine or skiing, so on and so forth. And one of them is curling. So this presentation was given to the RTP Club, and I will do my best to walk us through. We have information on a summary of the game. So basically, curling was invented in the 16th century in Scotland, and it was originally played on frozen lochs and marshes. It was introduced in North America in 1759, and then in the U.S. in 1832. And then there started to become curling clubs in various cities, which RTP is one of them. Some basic rules, I guess similar to darts or shuffleboard, I guess, where you throw the stone and it has to make the center target to get more points. Here is basic dimensions of the circles. Curling ice is noticeably different than skating ice. It has to be as flat as possible, with droplets of warm water that freeze on contact. The pebbles allow the rocks to easily glide or slide down the ice, as depicted in this picture. The equipment, they have a broom. I assume everyone's seen curling on the Olympics. Different curling shoes and gloves. So these were the original rocks that were used back in the 1700s. And this is what they look like modern day today. And I guess some more information on how the stones are created, or rocks as they're also called. Here's a basic outfit that curlers would be wearing. Here are the different brooms that have been used over time, made of either horsehair, hog's hair, or synthetic materials. So here are some of the brooms. Here is a picture of the different curling shoes that you can wear. You want to be able to slide on the ice as you let go of the curling stone. And then here are the gloves that you would wear. So here, the delivery of the stone. Here's how you would set up So the grip is important if you want to curve it, whether you want to curve it left or right. That's how you would kind of spin the curling stone itself. Here is the form that you're supposed to use. And you basically slide and then let go of the stone once you get to the line. So there's different shots that you can do. The first one to the top left, a takeout, which is try to knock the other opponent's stone out of the way. A guard, which would be put your stone in front to try to block the other team. And then the draw, just to try and angle it left to right or right to left to get to the center. Why do they sweep? Which is an interesting question. Basically to remove debris, but as you sweep the ice, it gets smoother and the rock can travel a little bit further. That's basically what I recall them saying. Momentarily warming the ice to create a thin film of water under the stone that acts as lubricant, aka hydroplaning. Sweeping a stone helps you lose momentum more slowly. Stop it. And reduce the rotation. Here's the stance of the sweeper. You want to sweep left to right. So a curling team consists of 4 people. We have the lead, second, vice, and skip, or the team captain, skipper. And all 4 players will get to throw a stone with the leader or the skip, which would end with the final throws of the stone. So here are some curling tournaments, pictures of curling tournaments. Here are some interesting pants that I believe, is that Denmark maybe, that are wearing in the Olympics. Here is a typical curling club. And again, we do have one in RTP. And it is a social time. When you're not throwing the stones, you are enjoying in the back room. So that brings me to why are we talking about this? So this is I believe it's the 39th annual Rotary Can-Am Games. Basically, teams from Canada and across the U.S. will come and compete, and the winners will be able to go to a larger worldwide Rotary Club curling event. The teams must consist of 4 Rotarians. You can't have a person that is a non-Rotarian playing in or joining the tournaments. And so this year they chose RTP. They are staying at the Hilton Doubletree in Durham, close to RTP. This is being sponsored by the Research Triangle Park Rotary Club, along with Chapel Hill, Greensboro, Beaufort, and Sneads Ferry as sponsors of the event. And basically, the volunteering that they're looking for is to drive a van basically from the hotel to and from to the arena, to the curling location. So Brett Blair is the president of RTP Rotary, and he's been working with the folks that are putting on the event. So basically, these are the times and what they're looking for in terms of volunteering. So basically, it's driving the van on Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 1:30 or 11 a.m. to 2. On Fridays, 11 a.m. to 2, as Brett has already taken the 9 a.m. to 1:30 time slots on the 18th, and then Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1:30 and 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you do volunteer, you will be invited to a like a welcome dinner and drinking event to meet other Rotarians from Canada and from across the U.S. that are participating in the games. So, seems like a pretty exciting event. I look forward to potentially meeting other Rotarians from North America, and that is basically all I have for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt. It's great sharing about yourself, your family, your past work, and your Rotary journey. Really appreciate that. And thank you for actually bringing this volunteer opportunity to us about the curling. I know that our E-Club had participated in a curling event, I think in 2016. And I think everyone had a good time. So I know that there are some of us that are familiar with curling and the experience. Just wanted to make sure that the 11 to 2, if people from our club wanted to participate, are you still looking for volunteers, or?
Yeah, these are the ones that are still. These are the ones that are still available as of today at noon. So
Okay.
if anyone is interested, you can let me know, or you can email Brett directly.
Okay, great. You could put his information maybe in the chat, and they can reach out. Does anyone have any questions for Matt? Open it up. I know everybody's on mute, so I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead. And you can ask questions on anything, not just curling, anything.
Hi, Matt. This is Gene Perry, and I want to welcome you to the E-Club. And I know you made a transition from RTP. What would be your goal or your ambition with the Rotary E-Club? I mean, what is your passion as you work along with us?
Yeah, I mentioned community service. That's certainly a big one.
Yeah.
And so Rhonda and Lonnie and I went to the Midtown Club last night, and it was odd that most people in that club didn't even know that the E-Club existed. So I don't know. One of it would be, I guess, getting the word out or making sure people are aware that the E-Club option exists. So yeah, community service, just better publicity, I guess, or and then there's a couple other projects that Rhonda and I are working on for a District 7710 that we'll discuss in the weeks to come.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because I know we spoke about that, Rhonda, mid last year when you were coming on board. And that still amazes me that there are a lot of people out there that don't know about us, but I guess it's an opportunity for us to do something.
Yeah, we had, at the Toronto RI convention, we had the panel to share with people about the E-Club. And in the masses, lots of Rotarians do not know or understand what E-Club is. And so just in our own district, you guys know that we had Marge Nordstrom here to talk about ways that we can engage ourselves, but ways we can introduce E-Club to our district. And so, as you know, last year, David Mofford and I went out to a couple of clubs and did introductions, and I was so happy, thankful to Lonnie and Matt to come out with me last night where we spoke to the Raleigh Midtown Club for first introducing them e-club, but also mostly asking for their support for the Arusha Water Project. And so, as Matt said, that's something, again, that we want to continue to do. I encourage all e-clubbers to go at least once a year to a traditional meeting and share about your e-club experience. And we all can do it anywhere. If you're on vacation, I hear people visit traditional clubs when they're on vacation just to connect, so feel free, but definitely don't miss out on that opportunity as well. Well, with that said, we're closing up here. Does anyone else have any questions for Matt? Okay. Well, I am going to switch over and share my screen. And I want to thank Matt again for taking the time out of his evening to put together a presentation for us about himself. Again, it's an opportunity for all of us. Just so you know, the door is open to anyone that wants to introduce themselves or to share more about what they're doing, what they're working on. January is the vocational service month, and so this was an opportunity for Matt to plug in. He's also a new member, and so with that, we say again a certificate of appreciation to Matt Babaian for imparting valuable insight. I really like that quote you had there, and inspiration as our guest speaker on this January 8th, 2019. And with that, we'll do our four-way test. Any volunteers for tonight? I'm not putting anybody on the spot.
Yeah.
How about our guest, Tim Wilburn? Are you there?
I am here.
Would you like to do our four-way test?
Do I just say it, or am I?
Yes.
Okay.
You can.
All right. The things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will be beneficial to all concerned.
Thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but thank you all for coming out tonight. And if you'd like to continue to discuss with Matt about some of what he was sharing, please do so.